What's up, grinders? Welcome back to the channel. As you can clearly see, I am no longer in Sydney, Australia. In fact, I am here in China in a city called Guiyang. You probably never heard of that city. That's fine. I'd never heard of it before I flew here either. So what the hell am I doing here? Well, a number of reasons. As you guys probably are well aware, there was a bit of a public announcement about my relationship, with Metatron, and that kind of caused some fractures with my relationship and Elmo. Elmo got really upset about that, ended up trying to stab me. Obviously did not succeed because I'm still here. But things were pretty brutal. It went pretty sour for a while there, but the relationship basically came to an end. That's just pretty much how it is. Elmo got like 90% of assets, so I got 10%. We're all happy in the end because, well, no one got stabbed, It's a good day when no one gets stabbed, yeah, right? Great. So basically, as a result, I needed to, get away, spend some time basically in another country where I would not get stabbed. And I ended up flying to Guiyang in China to meet up with my real wife, the one that actually exists. Yeah, well, I decided to meet up with her. So what is she doing here, and why didn't I not fly with her? Because my wife has already been traveling China for the last 2 weeks, and she's gone to this part of China because, well, she's got like this, I don't know if it's intended or unintended, but life mission pretty much to see and experience every Chinese minority nation that exists. And I think in total there's like 56 of them, though don't quote me on that, I could be completely wrong. There's just a lot of them. And basically minority nations are like, little nations that exist within the overall Chinese culture, the country itself. The main one being the Han Nation, but then you've got all these like smaller ones which basically exist in different areas due to historical reasons. They've got different languages, different cultures, different customs, etc., etc. Most of them have been, converted to just being normal Chinese people now, but they still have historically some stuff here, and that's what my wife likes to go and experience and see. So this is just where she happened to be, and this is where I happened to fly to. But boy, oh boy, was this not easy to get to, and do I have a story for you? Shit me not. Okay, so basically, the way we planned this out was that I would do a day flight to China. And it's a pretty long flight. From memory, it's like 11 hours. I can't remember, but it's a long flight. And we chose a day flight because, well, I don't like flying at nighttime because I can't fall asleep on planes. And that's probably a throwback to my time in the military where if you fell asleep with other people around you, someone drew a dick on your face. Okay? So I just can't sleep on planes. That's my excuse and I'm sticking with it. So I got on the flight. Well, before I got on the flight, I found out that the flight was delayed. And it was delayed by like 2 hours, which is not good, because I had a hotel ready for me at the other end because I need to make a domestic flight the next day. So by the time I actually got to China, got off the plane, passed through security, they checked that I hadn't said any anti-communist government stuff and everything was good. Basically, I had to then rush to the hotel, get freaking checked in again, check my passport again because they check your passport everywhere here, and finally get to bed around 1 in the morning, to then have to get up at 5 in the morning to catch an 8 a.m. flight. So you can imagine by the time I woke up, I was like freaking like, oh, where am I? What? How did I end up in China type of thing? Like I was not ready for the world. So I got to the airport and I had my ticket with my flight number on it, and I'm looking at that goddamn, the big board that sits there with all the flights telling you, and I'm seeing a lot of delayeds up there, and I'm like, well, I ain't good. And worse than that, where the fuck's my flight? Because my flight was not up on the board. So I was starting to have like the heart palpitation moment of, did I go to the wrong airport? Is there multiple airports? This is China, there's lots of people, there's lots of airports. I could have went to the wrong goddamn airport. Some cities got multiple airports. So then I had to go find some staff and then ask them, luckily I speak Chinese, basically, where the fuck's my flight at? And they're like, oh yeah, your flight has been combined with this other flight. So this is now your flight. You're now going to go to this desk over there. And I'm like, yeah, then why the hell's it not up on the board? Because like, does everyone have to go to staff and ask? Anyway, just stop it. So I went to the staff, I went to like the section where you got to check in your luggage and all that shit. I got my freaking ticket, and then I got to my like actual terminal. I had some food, sat down at my gate, and I'm looking up at the board and I'm like, great, I got here with an hour to spare. And then I see it go from 8:05 to 11:50. Like it just went, I was like, the fuck? But why? So, of course, then there's an announcement that happens, and they tell us that, due to, weather reasons or some other stuff, they're basically delayed flights. So not only have they combined flights, they've also now delayed flights. So I'm like, oh my God, no. So I could have slept in. Anyway, okay, I'm just going to cool it. So I thought that was the end of it, okay? But when they said combined flights, I didn't realize they'd basically turned planes into friggin' buses. because what had happened was that they had no longer just one flight going from, point A to freaking destination, B type of thing. They had a plane that was basically like a bus. It would fly from one city to the next, dropping off people and picking up people along the way. I've never seen this in my life before. I don't know if this is like an emergency thing or something that they do, but it was not actually on my original ticket. So I ended up flying 3 hours south, nowhere towards my destination, okay, to land in another city. I think it was Wenzhou. It might be Wenzhou. Anyway, so I went there, and then freaking I had to get off the plane. They unload the plane. All those people who actually wanted to go to that city got off. And then all of us who did not want to go to that city, which was, me, had to get back on the plane as they loaded new people onto the plane, and then they flew to my actual city. So I finally arrived in my goddamn actual city, and by this point I'd been traveling for like almost 2 days. And if you guys remember, I was in the military a long time ago, and my lower back is fucked. My lower back does not enjoy sitting postures for a very, very long time, and it does not enjoy having really random sleep patterns. Two things which happened over the last 2 days in large amounts. And this is all a throwback to the time when I had to do pack marches carrying 30 kilos on my back, and I ended up compressing my spine and just causing lots and lots of pain, okay? So basically, by the time I freaking arrived in the city, my lower back was like, hey, Evildea, fuck you, man, die. And I was like, I was really, really freaking sore yesterday. So I rocked up here, sore, late, unhappy. So then when I finally rocked up, I'm hungry as well because I've been eating airplane shitty food for like 2 days. And then I'm like, okay, let's just go grab some food. So we find some restaurant, and I ended up eating, I don't know, it was some type of noodle dish with like beef or something in it. And after that, about 2 hours later, I ended up fucking violently throwing up as I was getting food poisoning. Yeah, great time. So I went from like 2 hours up until about nighttime going, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I think I'm good now. Blah, not quite. Blah. Yep, good. Okay, and then I finally go to sleep, and of course, the room I booked happens to just be the hardest goddamn bed in the freaking world. So that doesn't help my lower back. So today I've woken up, I'm sore, I got like freaking patches on, I've taken popping pills like they're freaking candies type of thing, and my wife is out there traveling, and I'm just here relaxing in the hotel room, waiting for my back to say, yeah, okay man, you can go now. So yeah, that's pretty much what it's been like. So I figured I'd share that with you guys, and if you want to see anything while I'm here, possibly vlogs or stuff, because some people have asked for it, please let me know, because I'm not sure if you really want Evildea to be the vlogging type, the guy out on the street going, hey guys, do you want to do an interview? No, I'm not going to do that, don't worry. But I'm not sure. But besides that, I have been grinding. I saw your comments when I said I got jet lag, and you're like, fucking you didn't grind, did you, Evildea? Bitch, I grinded. I grinded on the plane, and then I grinded on the second plane, and then I grinded on the third freaking plane. You cannot say that Evildea no grind, okay? Evildea know how to grind. Evildea the grinder. Anyway, I know you won't believe me, but I have Anki logs, okay? I have Anki logs. Don't fuck with me, man. Anyway, apart from that, while I was at the airport in Sydney waiting for my delayed flight, I randomly found this book. Chinese intermediate spoken Chinese, and I flicked through it, and it seems to be a book mainly about Taiwan. Well, it's like for learning Chinese in Taiwan. It doesn't use characters. It's actually all just pinyin, and this is really fascinating because like it's pinyin, but it's pinyin for how they would actually say it in Taiwan in many, many places, although they also revert to standard pinyin, and they just like mention that type of thing. So it's quite fascinating, and it shows like the differences. Well, not intentionally, but like I can see as I'm reading through this book, the differences in word selection and also pronunciation for Taiwan and mainland China. So this is actually quite fascinating. Now, grammar-wise, there's a lot of really interesting grammar points in here. Most of this, like, I already know. Like, I would say probably like 80% of this I already know, but like, I was just looking through it and I'm like, oh, okay, so that explains that grammar point, because I'm a person who studies grammar on and off. Basically, I'll do like a lot of like sentence mining, immersion, and then once I get to a level, I'll go back and I'll do the grammar and stuff like that, and then I'll keep moving forward, because I do like to know the rules that govern the things that I've learned, because that way I can then kind of extend upon it as opposed to waiting for it to naturally kick in. So I've been kind of going through this today, and that's what I'll be doing some more of today, because I don't have access to pretty much any Western website while I'm here. If you guys are unaware, China has now pretty much blocked every single Western website you can think of. If there's any Western website and they say anything about China, you can guarantee it's like, it's gone. It's gone skis, man. So that's what I'm going to be working on, is that. I'll be doing some sentence mining out of this, putting it into my little thing over here. And then, of course, I'm going to be out on the street practicing my Chinese wherever I go type of thing. So if you guys want to see some vlogs or something, let me know in the comment section below. And if I feel like it, I might make some. If not, that's understandable. Who the fuck wants to see this guy out on the street harassing locals? So I'll see you all in the next video. And don't worry, by the way, while I'm here, I am still working on investigations, and we're currently working on one in the Discord. So those things are still coming. It's just my surroundings have changed, and there's no Elmo here to threaten and stab me anymore. So that's pretty much it. I'll see you all in the next video. And if you don't do your grind, do your fucking grind or else.